First contact in the frost. Dr. Sarah Chen brushed frost from her goggles as she descended deeper into the Arctic Research Station's newly discovered ice cavern. Her instruments had detected unusual energy signatures, but nothing could have prepared her for what the beam of her headlamp revealed. Massive crystalline formations, pulsing with an inner light. "Control, are you seeing this?" She breathed into her comm unit, adjusting the shoulder-mounted camera. The crystals weren't random formations. They were perfectly hexagonal, arranged in geometric patterns that screamed artificial design. "Affirmative, Dr. Chen. Energy readings are off the charts." Director Hammond's voice crackled through her earpiece. "Any signs of the source?" Sarah moved carefully across the glassy floor, her crampons providing crucial grip. The cavern extended about 50 meters in diameter, its walls lined with the glowing crystals. But it was what lay in the center that made her breath catch. A cluster of larger crystalline structures, each roughly the size of a car, emanating a soft blue luminescence. "They're eggs," she whispered, her scientific mind struggling to process what her eyes were seeing. The structures were translucent enough that she could make out shadowy forms within, humanoid but clearly not human. And there's something inside them. Her instruments began chirping frantically. The energy signatures were spiking, and the nearest crystal egg's glow intensified. Sarah backed away, but her scientific curiosity kept her camera trained on the formation. A crack appeared along its surface, spreading like lightning across ice. "Dr. Chen, we're reading massive energy fluctuations. Recommend immediate evacuation," Hammond urged. Just a moment longer," Sarah replied, transfixed. The crack widened, and a sound like chiming bells filled the cavern. As pieces of the crystal fell away, a figure emerged. Tall, slender, with skin that seemed to be made of living crystal. It was unmistakably female in form, but its surface caught and reflected light like a prism, creating rainbow patterns across the cavern walls. The being opened its eyes, revealing orbs of swirling silver. It focused on Sarah with an intelligence that left no doubt. This was a sentient creature. The crystalline woman raised a hand in what appeared to be a greeting, and to Sarah's astonishment, spoke in a voice that sounded like wind through crystal chimes. "We have waited so long for the right ones to find us," the being said, the words somehow translated directly into Sarah's mind. "We are the Luminar, and we need humanity's help." More eggs began to crack, and Sarah's scientific mind raced with questions. But one thing was clear: this discovery would change everything. Humanity was not alone, and their new allies had chosen them for a reason. As the other Luminar emerged, Sarah activated her emergency beacon. This wasn't something she could handle alone. The whole world would need to know about what lay beneath the ice. The crystalline beings gathered around her, their bodies casting prismatic light throughout the cavern, and Sarah realized she was witnessing the dawn of a new era in human history. What she didn't yet know was that this beautiful moment was just the beginning. The Luminar had not come to Earth by chance. They were refugees, fleeing from a darkness that had already consumed countless worlds. And now that same darkness was following their trail of starlight, straight to Earth. The scientific breakthrough of the century was about to become humanity's greatest challenge. But perhaps that's exactly why the Luminar had chosen them. Because if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was beating impossible odds. The Ice Awakening. World leaders gathered via encrypted channels as Dr. Chen presented her findings. The Luminar had explained their origins. They were a species that had evolved on a crystalline world orbiting a dying star. Their civilization had mastered the art of encoding consciousness into crystal matrices, allowing them to survive in suspended animation during their journey through space. The specimens show no signs of hostility, General Martinez stated, reviewing the preliminary reports. Their biology, if we can call it that, is unlike anything we've encountered. They don't require food or oxygen in our traditional sense. They absorb and process energy directly. The lead Luminar, who had introduced herself as Aurora, stood beside Sarah in the secure conference room. Her crystalline form seemed to pulse with each word she transmitted telepathically to the assembled officials. Our world was not the first to fall, Aurora explained, her silver eyes dimming with what Sarah had learned to recognize as sorrow. The Void Hunters consume entire star systems, breaking down matter and energy to fuel their expansion. We fled, but they follow the trails of our quantum signatures. Survive. Why Earth? The Chinese premier asked, leaning forward. What made you choose us? Your species possesses something unique, Aurora replied. An adaptability, a resistance to despair that we have not seen elsewhere. You face extinction-level threats and survive. You fail, learn, and try again. This resilience, this is what we need. The Luminar explained their proposal. They would share their crystal technology, teaching humanity how to harness quantum energies in ways that could revolutionize everything from computing to space travel. In return, they needed Earth's help to establish a defensive network that could detect and repel the Void Hunters. As the negotiations continued, Sarah noticed something changing in the Luminar's crystalline forms. They were adapting, their structures subtly shifting to better interact with Earth's environment. It was as if their very bodies were learning from humanity, just as humanity would learn from them. We estimate 18 months, Aurora announced, before the Void Hunters detect our presence here. We must be ready. The room erupted in discussion about logistics, resources, and security protocols. But Sarah's attention was drawn to a small detail. Aurora had begun to exhibit something like a heartbeat, a rhythmic pulsing that matched the human circadian cycle. The Luminar weren't just sharing their technology. They were becoming something new through their interaction with humanity. A synthesis was beginning, and with it, perhaps humanity's best chance at survival against what lurked between the stars. The ice had awakened something ancient and powerful, but the real transformation was just beginning. Crystal Coalition. The first successful human-luminar neural interface was tested 6 months after first contact. Dr. Sarah Chen volunteered, allowing a carefully grown crystal matrix to bond with her nervous system. As the connection activated, her consciousness expanded, merging with Aurora's in a symphony of light and thought. The integration is stable, Sarah reported, her voice overlaid with harmonic frequencies. Through Aurora's memories, she saw the fall of the Luminar homeworld. Crystal spires shattering under the Void Hunters' assault, entire continents of living crystal reduced to dust. But the interface revealed something else. The Luminar weren't just refugees. They were seeds deliberately scattered across the galaxy to find compatible civilizations. Earth wasn't merely a hiding place. It was an incubator for evolution. Global defense preparations accelerated. Crystal-enhanced satellites formed a detection grid around Earth, while deep space monitoring stations watched for the telltale gravitational distortions of approaching Void Hunters. The Luminar's quantum technology revolutionized human industry, but not without cost. Anti-alien protests erupted in major cities. Religious leaders declared the crystal integration an abomination. Military hardliners warned of dependency on alien technology. Sarah found herself at the center of the storm, demonstrating the benefits of human-luminar cooperation while fighting to maintain her own identity within the merged consciousness. They fear what they don't understand, Aurora observed as they reviewed global security feeds. Just as many of our kind feared organic life forms. Fear can be overcome with understanding, Sarah replied, directing their shared attention to the successes. Crystal-enhanced medical technology had cured previously terminal diseases. Quantum communications networks had eliminated global poverty by providing universal access to education and resources. Humanity was advancing decades in months. The breakthrough came in an unexpected way. A group of children born near the original Arctic discovery site began displaying natural crystal growth along their neural pathways. They could interface with Luminar technology without artificial enhancement, their young minds adapting to the alien presence in ways adults couldn't match. Evolution, Sarah realized. We're not just allies. We're becoming a new species together. The children became bridges between cultures, their innocent acceptance of the Luminar helping to ease public fears. But time was running out. Long-range sensors detected the first signs of void hunter activity at the edge of the solar system. Humanity had changed more in months than in millennia, but would it be enough? The answer lay in the crystal dreams of Earth's first hybrid generation, and in the courage of those who dared to embrace transformation. Stellar shadows. The void hunters struck without warning. Their massive forms emerged from cold space like ink spreading through water, absorbing light and energy. Earth's crystal defense grid activated, creating a prismatic shield that temporarily held the invaders at bay. Multiple contacts, Mission Control reported. They're targeting our quantum communication nodes first. Sarah and Aurora, their consciousnesses fully merged now, coordinated Earth's response from the Arctic Command Center. The hybrid children, now numbering in the thousands, acted as living quantum processors, maintaining the shield network even as the void hunters attempted to disrupt it. They're different, Aurora observed through their shared awareness. They've evolved since our last encounter. They're learning. The void hunters deployed new weapons, tendrils of dark energy that probed Earth's defenses, seeking weaknesses. When they found gaps, they struck with terrible precision, shattering crystal installations and draining power from entire cities. But humanity had prepared. Crystal-enhanced fighters engaged the smaller hunter units, their pilots' minds linked directly to their crafts through luminar interfaces. Underground bunkers protected millions, their walls lined with energy-absorbing crystals that turned the hunters' own attacks into power for the shields. The real game-changer came from an unexpected source. The hybrid children, working in concert, discovered they could do more than just maintain the defensive network. Their developing abilities allowed them to actually communicate with the void hunters' base consciousness. They're not just destroyers, one young hybrid reported. They're scared. They consume because they believe it's the only way to survive entropy, the heat death of the universe. This revelation changed everything. The void hunters weren't simply mindless destroyers. They were following a twisted path to preservation, consuming civilizations to store their energy against the universe's eventual darkness. Sarah/Aurora recognized the opportunity. Through the hybrid network, they broadcast a new possibility: cooperation instead of consumption. The Luminar's crystal technology, combined with human innovation, offered a way to harvest energy from vacuum itself. There was no need to destroy to survive. Some hunters pulled back, their dark forms hesitating as they processed this new paradigm. Others pressed their attack with renewed fury, refusing to consider an alternative to their ancient directive. The battle for Earth became more than a fight for survival. It became a race to convince enough hunters to change before the rest could break through humanity's last defenses. Aurora's Dawn. The final battle for Earth's future played out across multiple dimensions. In physical space, crystal-enhanced warships engaged the remaining hostile hunters. In quantum space, the hybrid children reached out to more of the cosmic entities, showing them a new path. Sarah/Aurora, now existing as a single merged consciousness, coordinated it all from within a massive crystal spire that had grown from the original Arctic discovery site. They had become a bridge not just between two species, but between three fundamentally different approaches to existence. The entropy they fear is real. The hybrid children conveyed, their combined consciousness resonating through the crystal network. But so is evolution. So is change. The transformed hunters, those who had accepted the new paradigm, demonstrated their own version of the crystal technology. Dark crystals that could store and transfer energy with incredible efficiency. Combined with luminar light crystals and human ingenuity, a new possibility emerged, a balanced system that could sustain itself indefinitely. As the last hostile hunters were either converted or contained, Earth began to transform. Crystal cities grew alongside traditional human structures. Dark crystal arrays absorbed excess energy from the sun, storing it in quantum batteries designed by the hybrid children. Light crystal networks distributed this power globally, ending energy scarcity forever. But the greatest change was in consciousness itself. The ability to share thoughts and memories across the crystal network led to a new kind of civilization. Not a hive mind, but a harmonious blend of individual and collective awareness. Humans could choose their level of connection, maintaining their independence while accessing the vast knowledge of the combined human-Luminar Hunter network. We didn't just survive, Sarah/Aurora reflected, watching the sun rise over the crystalline landscape. We showed the universe a new way to live. The hybrid children, now recognized as the first generation of what humanity would become, started receiving signals from other worlds. More Luminar eggs were awakening on distant planets. Other species were developing their own versions of crystal technology. The transformation that began in an Arctic cave was spreading across the galaxy. Earth became known as the Convergence World, the place where three cosmic forces learned to coexist and thrive. The Void Hunter's ancient quest to preserve existence against entropy had found its answer not in consumption, but in cooperation. The Luminar's search for compatible allies had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, and humanity had proven once again its greatest strength: the ability to adapt, to change, and to find hope in the darkest of circumstances. As new ships set out to explore the galaxy, their crews a mixture of all three kinds: human, Luminar, and transformed hunter. They carried with them crystal seeds. Not just physical crystals, but the seeds of an idea that the greatest power in the universe isn't in domination or preservation, or even transformation alone, but in the willing combination of all three. The stars themselves seemed brighter now, their light refracted through the crystalline networks that connected worlds. A new dawn had broken, not just for Earth, but for all of space-time. And it had begun, as so many great things do, with a simple human trait: the curiosity to look deeper into the ice and see not just what was there, but what could be.